Trying to level new echo sets feels undeniably slow right now in Wuthering Waves, and many people jump to the conclusion that the reason for that is because Tacet Fields give us bad XP rewards. But I think that's actually not the real root cause of the problem. But before we get into that, let's take a look at how the Tacet Field rewards stack up compared to the Genshin Impact and the HSR equivalent in terms of how much XP they each give per run. In addition to checking how much XP a single run gives, let's also see how many runs we would need to fully level a single piece of Echo, Artifact, or Relic. For this little experiment, we will be comparing the drops from Genshin Impacts and HSR's equivalent world levels or equilibrium levels to what is Union level 50 in Wuthering Waves. First, let's start out with Genshin Impact. Here, a single artifact domain run will get us 1 gold, 4 purples, and 10 blue artifacts by using a condensed resin, which is equal to 26,460 artifact experience. One domain run with condensed resin is almost the equivalent in cost to a Tacet Field run. But to make the comparison more fair, because we actually get 180 resin per day and not 160, let's multiply the XP we got by 1.125. By doing this, we arrive at 29,770 artifact experience per domain run. This is enough to level one artifact to +6, and in order to get our artifact all the way to +20, we would need a bit over 270,000 artifact experience, which is the equivalent of a bit over 9 domain runs. Since there is a small percentage chance to get double or quintuple experience while leveling up our artifacts, let's just be generous and say we need exactly 9 domain runs to get one piece maxed out. Now let's move on to HSR. In Honkai Star Rail, a single Cavern run netted us 2 gold, 3 purple, and 1 blue relics, which is equal to 6,500 relic XP, but again, to make the comparison completely fair, let's multiply this by 1.5 because the Cavern runs cost 40 energy while Tacet Field runs cost 60 energy. If we do that, we arrive at 9,750 relic experience per Cavern run. But to make it easier for practical calculations, let's just round this up to 10,000 relic XP. If we work with that, a single Cavern run will once again be enough to get our relic to +6. And in order to fully max out our relic at +15, we would need a total of 76,000 relic experience, which is the equivalent of just about 8 Cavern runs. A tiny bit better than Genshin, but considering we have 6 slots for relics in HSR and 5 for artifacts in Genshin, getting a character fully decked out is pretty much going to be the same amount of energy. Now let's take a look at Tacet Field runs in Wuthering Waves. Here, at Union level 50, I saw someone get 3 gold and 3 purple XP tubes. But I'll just use my own Union level 40 run, which netted me 2 gold and 6 purple ones, which is funnily enough 1000 Echo XP more than what that person got at Union level 50. It's not looking good so far, right? If we convert the 2 gold and 6 purple tubes which I got, then we get 22,000 Echo experience. If we use this to level an Echo, we can get it to +11. And in order to fully level an Echo, all the way to +25, we actually need approximately 150,000 Echo experience. This is the equivalent of around 8 Tacet Field runs. Hold up just one second. If what I'm saying is true and doing Tacet Field runs in Wuthering Waves actually gives us the equivalent amount of Echo experience as the relic XP you get from HSR Cavern runs, and actually a tiny bit more than the artifact domain runs in Genshin, then why is it that leveling up our Echoes feels so much worse in comparison to leveling artifacts or leveling relics? Well, the first design decision blunder that Kuro made is that they gave us access to gold Echoes way too early in the game. If we compare it to how early you can access, 5-star artifacts in Genshin and reliably farm them, which is Adventure rank 45, or how early you can access the 5-star relics in HSR, getting gold Echoes basically just needs you to be Union level 30, which most people can get in 2 or 3 days of playing, and you need to be at databank level 17. And if you have that, then pretty much you're gonna have a very good shot of getting gold Echoes whenever you do get an Echo drop, because it's gonna be 50% of the time is going to be gold, 50% of the time is going to be purple. So by giving us access to gold echoes so early, more and more people feel inclined to start min-maxing that much earlier. Because if we compare it to Genshin and HSR, in those games, we don't really think about min-maxing until we get to the point where we can reliably get our, 5-star relics, 5-star artifacts. Which is pretty late in the game. It would be, like the equivalent of Union level 50 in Wuthering Waves. But here, we can get it very early. Like, imagine if in Genshin you started getting the chance, and a pretty good chance, of getting 5-star artifacts by the time you hit, like, Adventure rank 30. Like, the min-maxing there would also begin way sooner. So even though it takes the exact, or pretty much the exact same amount of Tacet Field runs as it takes Artifact Domain runs and Relic Cavern runs to get the same experience, the one big difference is, however, that in Wuthering Waves, the only way you can get Echo experience is by doing Tacet Field runs once you are done with the one-time only sources of Echo experience. While at the same time, in Genshin Impact and also in HSR, there are many other ways that you can, well, not many, but there are definitely other ways that you can acquire experience to level up your relics and level up your artifacts. In Genshin Impact, certain boxes, for example, drop artifacts which you can use as fodder to level up your, higher rarity artifacts, which you actually want to use, the 5-star ones. And then you also have the Serenity Pot, which has a resetting shop which resets every week. There you can also buy artifact XP materials. In HSR, you have the weekly reset for the simulated universe, which gives you relatively nice amount of relic experience from the rewards. In comparison, Wuthering Waves has nothing of the sorts. And then let's also think about what we get from the dailies that we complete in Genshin, HSR, and Wuthering Waves. In Wuthering Waves, we get a grand total of 2000 Echo experience from our daily rewards. In HSR, we get, as you can see, quite a bit more in comparison, especially considering how much Echo XP you need to level up an Echo to plus 25 and how much Relic XP you need to get a Relic to plus 15. To be a bit more specific, I did some calculations, and the daily rewards in HSR are pretty much 8 times as generous when it comes to the, Relic XP materials as they are in Wuthering Waves. Now, the only resetting source of Echo experience materials besides Tacet Fields is from the Tower of Adversity shop. And the number of crests we get from Tower of Adversity that we can spend in the associated shop is insanely low. So for an 18 out of 30 clear, which is what is, realistic for the majority of the player base for now, but even a 21 out of 30 clear, you end up getting a pitiful amount of Echo experience. In addition to that, this resets only once every 2 weeks. And even if we did get a 30 out of 30 clear, that would only be enough to buy, the 50 purple tubes from the shop, which will still not give us enough Echo experience to level a single Echo to plus 25. As for the biggest reason as to why Echo leveling feels so much worse in Wuthering Waves compared to HSR and Genshin, is that Wuthering Waves has only been out for a month. Not even a month. This means that the one-time source of Echo XP materials, such as from overworld exploration, hologram bosses, and all of that stuff, is going to be way lower than, the same one-time source of Relic XP from HSR exploration and story quests and whatnot, and the one-time source of Artifact XP from Genshin Impact exploration, story quests, and all of that. Now the question is, do we actually need a solution to this problem? Or, as the game gets more content and one-time sources of Echo XP materials, will the problem just iron itself out? Considering Tacet Field drops are already, more than what we get from Artifact Domains and about the same as we get from Relic Caverns in HSR, I would say it's unlikely that they will buff the Tacet Field drops anytime soon, if at all, even if it would feel amazing, right? Another solution would be to increase the XP you get from feeding already leveled up Echoes into new Echoes. While this would make grinding for perfect substats way less tedious, it still wouldn't solve the problem of leveling up completely new Echo sets. One solution which I feel like they definitely should implement even in the short term is to increase the number of Echo XP materials we get from doing our daily quests, because getting 2000 Echo XP from dailies is kind of pathetic compared to what we get from HSR. So if they, let's say, just like, you know, gave us, instead of 2 blues, let's say they give us 2 golden ones, I would say that would already be like a very big improvement. But I personally feel like even if they don't do anything to address this issue, down the line, as we get more and more one-time sources of Echo experience being added to the game with, you know, more and more content releasing, more and more exploration, more and more quests, I feel like this problem will just disappear by itself. Now, what they do need to do is make sure that they do keep adding, you know, content which lets us get these Echo XP materials, because if they don't, or if they are, you know, being too stingy with it, then it will be an issue down the line. Do you think Kuro messed up by letting us access gold echoes so early on? Do you agree that the problem will just iron itself out with time, and even if they don't touch, you know, Tacet Field rewards or anything else? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you liked the video, then, you know, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. And if you didn't, then just leave a dislike, that's also fine. So that's about it for today's video. I'm Dr. Misk. Until next time, peace!